Hello, there are some exciting additions to Art Thief for this year's patron show. I think you'll really like them. You can now place art virtually on a wall in your home or wherever and get a better sense of how it'll look in the space. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Make sure you have the latest version of Art Thief 3.0 and go to the detail view of really any of the artworks. You'll see in the upper right-hand corner, there's an icon just to the left of the sharing icon that looks like a little picture frame hanging up by a nail. If you click on that, Art Thief uses your camera to try to analyze the room and understand vertical planes. It puts a grid up on top of any vertical plane that it sees. Click anywhere on the grid, and it puts that artwork up there kind of virtually. You can drag the artwork to get it in the right position. And you'll see you can also move around the room and it keeps the perspective there. Sometimes it goes ahead and tries to make another grid. That's okay. It just thinks you're trying to find a different wall to put things on. The artwork is to scale. It tries to light it similar to the lighting in the room. Depends a little bit on the photograph, but overall, it gives you a sense of, is this piece the right size? How do the colors look in the room? Gives you some overall sense. Of course, it's not like being and seeing it in person, but here you can kind of try it out. I'm really excited about this feature. One problem you may run into is blank walls. I'm going to go ahead and tap the picture frame icon again for this demonstration, and I'm aiming at this blank wall. It's difficult for the app to understand where this wall is in space and its physical dimensions when there's no texture or imagery to grab onto. It just has a hard time of doing plane detection. Thankfully, there's an easy workaround. Tape something up against the wall that's visually distinctive, has some texture as an image. In this case, I'm using a printout from a previous year's patron show. As you can see, it sees it, it understands it, it recognizes that as part of a plane and puts up a grid. I can go ahead and tap on there, and then I've placed my art. I can back up, move to other places in the room, and see, how that art is going to look where I'm thinking about it. This should work with a magazine or maybe even some newspaper, something that's got some texture to it so the app can help understand it. But that's not all the augmented reality fun we have for you. There's a new tab at the bottom of Art Thief called Gallery. This tab lets you visualize ratings while you're inside the Art Leaks gallery. I'm going to go ahead and press it. You'll be able to walk around the gallery and see what ratings you have given to each artwork. Then you can even make adjustments. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. When you enter the Art Leaks gallery in the Torpedo Factory, go to the Gallery tab in Art Thief and tap the Activate button. The app now analyzes all the art that you have loaded into it so it can identify them in the space. And when it's done with that, it turns on the camera. At the time of this recording, the artwork in the patron show wasn't hanging in the gallery. So I've made this fake little gallery by taping up printouts from last year's show. After 10 or 15 seconds, it starts to recognize the artworks. Moving up close to them helps it understand them. Sometimes it gets it from far away. But regardless, it keeps the ratings attached kind of virtually to the artwork. And best of all, you can go ahead and change the ratings on the artworks. For instance, I really like Betsy Anderson. I'm sorry we've never gotten one of her pieces at the show. I hope to every year. I'm going to go ahead and change this one to 5 stars. And this piece down here by Mike Francis, again, I think Mike Francis does phenomenal work, but we have one of his pieces hanging in our house from a previous year's show, so I'm going to go ahead and mark it down in 3 stars. I can be close, I can be far away, it doesn't matter. Just tapping on the stars or even swiping left or right changes the rating. And the ratings stay bound to the artwork they're associated with it. You can even turn away, come back, and they're still there. Before I wrap up this video, I should let you know that these new features are only in the iOS version of ArtThief and don't work on all devices. For the phone, it's the iPhone 6S and newer that has the right hardware in it to do the augmented reality. For the iPad, it's most of the iPads that came out in 2017 or 2018, excluding the iPad mini.